the praises of the ancients for the sun, and how the celestial powers are all found in the sun and derived from the sun. For these reasons Orpheus called Apollo the vivifying eye of the heavens. And what I am about to say is taken straight from the hymns of Orpheus. Quote, "The sun is the eternal eye, seeing all things, the preeminent celestial light, moderating heavenly and worldly things, leading or drawing the harmonious course of the world, the Lord of the world, immortal Jupiter, in the eye of the world, circling round everywhere, possessing the original imprint in whose image all worldly forms are made. The moon is pregnant with the stars. The moon is queen of the stars." Unquote. These things Orpheus says in Egypt on the temples of Minerva. This golden inscription could be read, quote, "I am all those things which are, which will be, and which have been. No one has ever turned back my veil. The fruit I have borne is the sun, whence it appears that this son born of Minerva, that is, of divine intelligence, is both flower and fruit." The ancient theologians, with Proclus as witness once again, stated that justice, the queen of all things, proceeds from the middle of the sun's throne through everything, directing everything, as if the sun itself could be the moderator of all things. Iamblichus states the opinion of the Egyptians in the following way: "Whatever good we have, we get from the sun, that is, either from itself alone or from another agency as well. In other words, either directly from the sun or from the sun through other things. Likewise, the sun is the lord of all elemental virtues. The moon, by virtue of the sun, is the lady of generation. Therefore, Albumacer said, through the sun and the moon, life is infused into all things. Moses thinks the sun is lord of celestial things in day, and the moon like a nocturnal sun at night. They all place the sun as lord in the midst of the world, although for different reasons. The Chaldeans put the sun in the middle of the planets, the Egyptians between two five-fold worlds, the 5 planets above, the moon and the 4 elements below. Indeed, they think it is placed by providence closer to the earth than the firmament, so that the gross material of the earth and the moisture of the moon, air and water, might be cherished by its fervent spirit and fire. Also, by another theory, the middle place is declared by that prosperity of the planets which requires their disposition to the sun to be such that Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars rise before it, and Venus, Mercury, and the moon after it, thereby maintaining the king on the middle path. The others, in proceeding differently, turn out to be weaker. Moreover, amongst them those planets are held to be more preeminent, which the Lord Sun itself ordered to precede it. But let us return to the ancients. The old physicians called the sun the heart of the heaven. Heraclitus called it the fountain of celestial light. Most Platonists located the world soul in the sun, which, filling the whole sphere of the sun, poured out through that fiery-like globe, just as it poured out spirit-like rays through the heart. And from there everything goes through, to which it distributed life and feeling and motion universally. For these reasons, perhaps, most astrologers think that, just as God alone gave us an intellectual soul, He alone sends us under the influence of the sun. That is, only in the 4th month after conception. But this is something that concerns them. On the other hand, no doubt that of Mercury, which signifies the movement of our mind. It moves the least far from the sun. Saturn, signifying the state of the separated mind, departs least from the ecliptic. Moreover, Jupiter and Mars, the former through Sagittarius and the latter through Aries, are concordant with the Apollonian lion, and I have obtained their respective gifts. Jupiter signifying religious justice, civil laws, and prosperity, and Mars magnanimity, fortitude, victory. The Moon, Venus, and Mercury are called the companions of the Sun. The Moon because its frequent conjunction with the Sun, Venus and Mercury because they do not stray beyond the vicinity of the Sun, on account they're advancing in step with it. Hence, they have received the rulership of universal generation. Accordingly, the Moon, rather humid in conjunction or aspect with the Sun, having absorbed its vital heat, may thereby provide a warming and vital humor to those things to be generated. Moreover, in a process of generation, Mercury mixes with two parts, with the rest in a certain harmonious proportion. Venus applies seemingly to the mixtures of this kind and adds a grace and joy. Thus, the Sun has distributed the whole of the light collected in itself through various stars differing amongst themselves in kind, and thus sets in order virtues in every form, with light that can take any form. Now, from which one may clearly conjecture that there are just as many virtues of the Sun as there are stars in the existing of the heavens.